True or false? Black people can't be racist.
That's false.
Racism, I'm not really sure. But prejudice, definitely.
I think it's a human thing. It's really sad when I see the black people or the African people, when they truly lose the flame of the heart and the warmth of the heart, and they become stone cold towards others.
Only a couple of weeks ago, I was in Italy and I was accosted by someone in the street. Hey man, we're from the same country, we're from Africa, you should talk to me. There was this assumption that because I have the same skin colour or tone as somebody else, that we're from the same country or at least from the same continent, but absolutely not.
If I was to say a greeting or say a comment in a particular way that works for me but doesn't work for the other person, I get teased about that.
Sometimes it's comments as well, like, oh, you're very dark, where are you from?
On social media, there was a lot of talk about team light skin, team dark skin.
I think it comes from a place of wanting to protect people from being policed by others, and so we sort of regulate ourselves and put really stringent criteria on what a black person should do, what's considered black.
I've tried to develop my self-esteem over the years to the point where I don't let it bother me.
People will just comment on your appearance about anything you're doing. So,
does tribe matter? No, not at all. It shouldn't. But the other answer in our communities, it does.
I think in the African context, tribe does matter.
It's sad to see some different tribes and cultural communities from our home countries coming here to Australia, the land of multicultural, and still forming their own group.
Unfortunately, the tribal conflict has been brought across to the Western countries, and particularly here in Australia.
I would love African Australians from different backgrounds to come together, be a single body, and respect and appreciate the diversity that we have.
True or false? Casual racism is a thing only white people do.
Everyone can make statements that, whether they mean it or not, is casually racist. You can be like, oh yes, I assumed XYZ about you.
Casual racism is the kind of racism that's so normalized that it feels like part of a culture.
Have you ever been told you don't sound black? I have been told that I don't sound black every other day of my life.
Yes, by other black people, basically saying that, you sound too white, or you speak so proper. Apparently black people don't speak properly.
I was bullied most of my childhood for not sounding black. I was too black for the white kids and I was too white for the black kids. There's no black monolith of what someone should sound like or be like. We sound different, we do things differently, we have different customs. The black experience is not a universal experience.
Somehow people are also surprised by my intelligence. And that's one that kind of hits you in the gut.
true or false? Small racist incidents don't really matter. False. False. If it's happening to you, several times a day or several times a week, that's the sort of, it wears you down.
They appear to be harmless, but they're usually the worst. Because they catch you on a mental loop where you start wondering, what was that all about?
Small racist incidents always matter.
I think that any commentary relating to racism is unacceptable. Sometimes things slip out of your mouth and people make mistakes. But I think in that moment in time, if we can just acknowledge that's not acceptable, that's not an appropriate comment, and educate that person perhaps as well too around the feelings of those comments.
I think we all need to work really hard to make sure that those sorts of things don't happen.
How do black people discriminate against others in work and business?
I think the problem is that there's a lot of insecurity around success.
A lot of people working with black businesses often hope for a mates rates discount of a small business. That business could be that person, their partner, and two of their friends trying to make the ends meet with all the taxes and all the legislation. So to give someone a mates rates discount on a small business could make or break whether they pay rent that month.
Time and time again, you do see a lot of conflict between African service providers. Sometimes it's questions around this person's getting more funding than that person. Other times it's about not thinking about the person getting this opportunity because they worked hard to get there.
True or false? Institutional racism is a thing of the past. False.
We wish. We wish.
Oh, that's absolutely false.
With racism and any kind of racism, it's very hard to pinpoint.
The definition of racism that gets the most airtime is the verbal abuse, on a bus that's filmed and posted on YouTube, the sort that everyone can say, oh, well, that was very bad, and that person is very bad, and I would never do that. But it's actually our institutions and the inequalities that are entrenched in them which probably does the most damage.
The pathways of studies that might not always be that direct, or your previous knowledge is not acknowledged, and so you have to do another course as a pathway into where you want to go. So those are some ways in which racism exists in institutes.
Also, it's really important because it's so invisible and it's easy to dismiss. When you entrench an inequality, it then has a huge impact on someone's chance at making, what they want out of their life.
Oh no, it is very present. We just don't talk about it. It's like a Loch Ness monster. We need to identify when the tail is up, the ear is up, the nose, we just till we see the whole monster. But it is there, and it will keep growing if we do not identify and all of us go after it and kill the beast.
How has your family been impacted by institutional racism? How has your family not been impacted should be more the question.
I'm an electrical engineer, and as a woman, and as an African woman, it's almost like that is uncharted territory. And sometimes people assume either you can do the work based on the color of your skin. They don't expect you to be as good as your colleagues sometimes. So when you're talking of institutionalized racism, I've always believed that racism can wear a robe, racism can wear a suit. But people don't call it racism because it can be professional. It can be being paid under, it can be being given more work and you're expected to do triple amount of work for less amount of money in a way that it's already accepted because it's already part of a system.
I think it's really important that if you care about racism or if you care about just being a fair human being, you actually need to go out and learn about institutional ways that we entrench inequality. Because if we can change those, we can actually move the needle on people's experiences way more than just dealing with the sort of interpersonal issues.